Hey guys, it's your friendly neighborhood MazdaMitch here again, and I got to make a video about something today for all of you guys heading into summer and wanting to get your air conditioning working correctly. What we're going to talk about today, or just clarify since I really didn't cover it all that well in my AC videos, is the way to do the conversion from R12 to 134 using the adapters.
Don't adjust that dial, cause it ain't no glitch. Best Mazda content from MazdaMitch.
Okay, so this topic recently come up in our forum, which is a really nice growing community. I'll leave the link in the description. Join it. You get some superb help in there. We were talking about AC adapters. The reason you got to do the conversion, if it's just a big deal trying to get R12 and keep that in the system. You can't hardly find it. So some options are to use 134A. It works. Or it works, okay, it works, but it requires a little more pressure than, say, Duracool. Duracool is a propane isobutane blend, and it works just as good or better than R12. It doesn't even take a lot of it to get those cool temps. So in either case, you have to convert these to 134A so that it can accept the cans. Okay, so this is the compressor that came off the truck I'm working on now. This is the low side. This is the high side. It's marked with an H and an L. You can get a kit, an adapter kit from Advanced Auto, which I did. I'll try to leave a picture somewhere or item number. And the question that arose today, what we want to clarify, is when you have the high side, it doesn't have a Schrader valve in it. Is it supposed to have one? No. If you watched in my previous video, or AC videos actually, I had trouble with some of my Schrader valves. They broke off and I had to drill them out. And luckily, I didn't damage the thread because you need the threads, especially on the high side, to put your Schrader valve in. And this is what I'm talking about. We're going to take this adapter off. And as you can see, it does not have one in it because it remains in the R12 section here. Now you can replace it. I do advise you to replace it with a new one, but one does not go in the high side. So if you damage the threads and you can't get one in there, then you've messed up this line. You're going to have to source a new one. You're going to have to find a new one. And on the low side, you do remove the Schrader valve here because it rests inside the low side. That's where it is. It's got a long mechanism in there, and that's where that is. So if you booger up the threads inside your low side trying to get a Schrader valve out, if it breaks off, which you have to remove it in order to use this, and if you break it off, drill it out, it's okay, because this goes on over the top and your low side is taken care of. And then when it comes to your kit stuff, you'll have different pieces because they're threaded different. You have to find the one that fits on the high side. And that's how that works. This is your high side. So the Schrader valve stays in this line. And on the low side, it's in the long neck piece, not in there. That is how the adapters work. So that's it. That's how you install the adapters. It's pretty easy to do, really simple if you got a good kit. And going back to what I said about the refrigerants to be used or can use, you can use 134A. It will work. I've used it for a long time. It worked great. I did switch over to Duracool, and some of the things I noticed were that the pressures with 134A, they're higher. That when the AC kicks on, you'll definitely feel it drag down in the engine. You'll feel it every time the compressor kicks on. And let's say it's really hot summer, you're at a stoplight for a long period of time. Because of those high pressures and expelling a lot of hot air and stuff, it's gonna get warmer in the cab quicker, and the refractory period to get cool again is longer than say you were using Duracool. Duracool is a lot like R12, and you definitely won't quite feel it when the compressor kicks on. The drag on the engine's a lot less. It requires less Duracool to make it cool, and the refractory period from stoplight to stoplight or riding around is a lot shorter. It stays cooler longer. So, you know, I use Duracool, but they both work. And of course, as I've said in my little 12-part AC installation video, if you're doing a conversion and you're going to 134A, you must clean the entire system of mineral oil. That includes the pump, but especially all the components, because 134A does not mix with mineral oil. It's best to clean it all out, and the way to clean the compressor out, I use PAG 100 oil, and you just have to you have to waste a little money. You have to fill the compressor with oil, rotate it a lot, dump it, do it again, rotate it a lot, dump it. This was after I let it drain overnight. But you want to get all the mineral oil that you can out of the system. The rest of the components you can flush. I've covered that in some of my other videos. You can flush it with some chemical solution, get all the oil out, because you really want to do that, because 134A does not mix with old leftover mineral oil. It just doesn't mix. You have to use like PAG 100 for that. And when it comes to Duracool, it'll mix with any oil. So you can use it with mineral oil that's currently in the system, or you could still flush it and do the swap to PAG 100, and it'll work great. And you'll know everything has been cleaned and flushed, and you've added your new O-rings, I hope, so that it all works out well. We have all this information on my website, under the file section, under the air conditioning. There's plenty of info there if you want to delve into it. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Just another little AC video. We'll see you in the next one.